First with breaking news. First with new information. Plus, your first alert forecast. 19 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
We begin first at 4 with a shooting inside the North Royalton Service Department, and we just learned a city worker has died. Thanks for joining us. I'm Nicole Versansky.
And I'm Brian Duffy. Our Vasi Prokos is live at the scene. She's been working this for us with new information, Vasi, that's just come in from the mayor.
Yeah, that's right, Nicole and Brian. A city worker was killed here at the North Royalton City Center. Now, the mayor's office just recently put out a press release, and it says that it goes on to say that the city of North Royalton is deeply saddened by the tragic and sudden loss of one of our colleagues. Now, the city says they will provide further details once the family is contacted. Now, this all happening and unfolding around 2:30 this evening. We're off of Royalton Road right now, so there is no confirmed information yet on the victim's identity or whether a suspect is in custody. But we can tell you BCI is here on scene assisting with the investigation. BCI also tells 19 News this was not an officer-involved shooting. You can see the white BCI truck outside of the building. We've also seen multiple officers in and out of this building. We also know that the medical examiner's office has been called. Now, the mayor's office did tell us that there is no threat to the community right now, and we are still working to gather more details on this investigation. And once we have those questions answered, we will, of course, bring you updates both on air and online. But for now, live in North Royalton, Vasi Prokos, 19 News.
All right, more breaking news now. LeBron has made his decision, and he will not be back in the wine and gold.
Leah Doherty joining us now. Leah, LeBron said this is where he's going to finish up his career.
Okay.
Hey, guys, at least the wait is over, right? The Cavs, Golden State, the Heat, Timberwolves, those teams were all in the mix, but LeBron is headed to the city of brotherly love, signing a 2-year, $8 million deal with the 76ers. We didn't expect this to be a blockbuster contract by any means, but LeBron did post a long statement on social media today and said he seriously considered retirement after this season, but said he still truly loves the game and has more to give. I think that's pretty obvious. He said this is his last decision. He's not going for money or family, but he wants to win another ring and believes he can do that in Philly and hopefully end their 43-year championship drought. Philly traded for Jaylen Brown on July 1st. They've also got Tyrese Maxey, Of course, the big piece here, Joel Embiid. That's if he can stay healthy. Here's NBA insider Shams Charania on the decision.
He made it very clear it wasn't going to be about money. And at the end of the day, it's not. Because he's signing for the lowest possible amount, the veteran minimum contract at the age of 41, going into his 24th NBA season. And my understanding is there's a real chance here he plays both of these years.
Yeah.
All right, one interesting note, former Cavs general manager Mike Gansey left in May to lead basketball operations in Philly after 15 years here in Cleveland. He'll now be reunited with LeBron, now in Philadelphia. In the studio, Leah Doherty, 19 News.
He's a Northeast Ohio native, too, that young man who's done a heck of a job with the Sixers in this offseason. They're going to be, that's a pretty good basketball team they got over there right now.
Yeah, so I guess it's the Cleveland connection, not exactly the Cleveland connection we thought about. So we'll just thank LeBron for, the championship he brought us in 2016 and move on.
Move on. I'm disappointed. I'm sure a lot of people are. There are other people who, didn't want him back. So they, I guess, got their wish, right?
I think everyone will be happy just that the decision is over.
Moving on.
And we know what's happening.
Right, and we're going to have reaction from around the city. We're going to hear from Cavs fans. That's coming up in just a few moments.
Now your 19 First Alert forecast. Certified most accurate since 2004.
All right, we're dealing with a fair bit of cloud cover out there this afternoon. Data showed that yesterday that we could see a few more of those clouds drifting in. Overall, though, I think we'll see some clearing as we head into the overnight. Maybe not complete clear skies. Partly cloudy, I think, is where we will largely rest as we slowly start to build in a little bit more of that humidity. Now, this will not be humidity that just really kind of makes it real sticky to be outside through the day tomorrow. tomorrow. It's a slow, gradual increase in that muggy meter as we go through the day. So you may get a couple stray showers, especially across our eastern counties as that humidity starts to pile in. But you're really going to notice it more so through the day on Sunday. And that's where I think you have a better chance for rain, all coming together out ahead of our next cold front. That cold front has sparked a 19 first alert weather day because there is the potential that we could be dealing with some strong, possibly even severe storms in the mix to begin the upcoming work week. We'll have more data on that coming up here in just a few minutes.
Well, in Lorain, the community honoring a fallen officer this afternoon. A public memorial service underway as we speak.
Yeah, it marks 1 year since Officer Philip Wagner was killed in the line of duty. First at 4, Brittany Weir live at the memorial site. We've heard so many people speak. The mayor, his wife Jessica. This really was a difficult day for everyone, but so wonderful to see the community still support everybody out there.
Yes, Nicole and Brian, there have been a lot of emotions here in Lorain this afternoon, but like you said, so many people sharing those fond memories of Officer Philip Wagner, and the turnout here this afternoon, it's just been a powerful reminder of how much this community truly loved Officer Philip Wagner, who died sadly 1 year ago. Now, family, fellow officers and community members, they are still gathered here this afternoon, again, to mark the 1 year anniversary of his death. They're also making sure that his sacrifice is never forgotten. Lorain community rallying in shared remembrance for Officer Philip Wagner, who was killed in the line of duty 1 year ago.
Officer Wagner's watch ended 1 year ago, but his legacy will never end.
Last July, Wagner and Officer Peter Gale were having lunch when a gunman opened fire. Gale escaped to get the help and returned with Officer Brent Payne. But when all 3 officers arrived on scene, they were ambushed. Payne and Gale survived. Wagner did not. He died the following day, leaving behind a wife and 3 children. Today's public memorial at the Lorain Police Department drew family, honor guards, veterans, and community members, all coming together to pay their respects on this 1 year anniversary.
On July 23rd, 2025, heroically defended himself and his fellow officers against a deranged gunman. Whereas, on July 24th, 2025, Officer Wagner tragically passed away from his injuries. Whereas the Lorain community is forever in its debt to our men and women in blue who give the ultimate sacrifice for our safety.
And people are still gathered out here this afternoon because following this memorial service, there is a picnic where Wagner's family is greeting everybody who is here in attendance. They'll be serving hot dogs and ice cream, which we were told is Officer Wagner's favorite. But this is just a random act of kindness that they wanted to do today to show their gratitude to everyone who's been supporting them over the past year. Live in Lorain, Brittany Weir, 19 News.
The latest developments now in the deadly shooting inside a Put-in-Bay bar. Mr. Ed's Bar and Grill on South Bass Island reopened today. Colton Smith is locked up on a $1 million bond. The 21-year-old is from Michigan. He's accused of shooting and killing a 39-year-old man. There was an intense manhunt. This is body cam videos. You see, troopers actually sent up drones to be able to find him. They did get to him just hours after the shooting. We still do not know the name of the victim yet.
Colt Gray, now 16 years old, officially pleaded guilty in court Friday to all 55 charges against him, including 4 counts of murder for the 2024 mass shooting at Appalachia High School. This is in Winder, Georgia. Of course, the shooting left 4 people dead and 9 injured. Victims of the shooting and their family members spoke in court about how their lives have changed since the attack. Ivan Rodriguez brings us the story.
The courtroom in Winder, Georgia was filled with victims' families. Several members of Mason Schermerhorn's family wore bright red shirts with pictures of Mason on them. The shirts read #LoveLikeMason on the back. Speaking on the stand, Mason's mom says he and Colt Gray could have been friends.
He knew that bringing a weapon into a school was wrong. He knew that pulling that trigger was wrong. He knew that every choice he made that day would forever alter countless lives. The failures of the adults around him may explain parts of his story, but they do not excuse the decisions that he made. Those decisions were his and his alone, and because of those decisions, my Macy Mace is gone.
The oldest sibling of victim Christian Angulo mourned his brother, who was just 14 when he was fatally shot by Colt Gray.
The defendant's family will still get to see their son, talk to him, and know he is breathing. My mother, my father don't get that privilege. The only way to visit Christian now is by standing over his grave. There is no fairness in that reality.
Colt Gray is expected to be sentenced to life in prison, either with or without parole, for 4 counts of murder. Shayna Aspinwall, whose husband Richard was killed in the shooting, asked the judge to sentence Gray to life without parole.
No sentence the court imposes can bring my husband back. Nothing can restore the life he should have lived or the years he should have shared, but I ask the court to recognize the profound and permanent harm this crime has caused.
I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
All right, live look outside from our Oberlin Tower cameras. Certainly dealing with a little bit more clouds out there today than yesterday, but I still think as high pressure remains in control, we will likely at least see some clearing of those clouds as we head into the overnight tonight. That high pressure system slowly working its way off towards the east, which means we start to enter into a pattern where some of these rain chances inch that much closer to northeast Ohio. Now, are we going to see a lot in the way of rain tonight? I don't think so. Yes, you see a little bit of these showers popping up across our area now. This is not making its way to the ground. It's all evaporating because the air is still pretty dry closer to the surface. But if we can build in enough moisture where you're seeing a little bit more of those yellows basically around the Lima area and then into parts of eastern Indiana, it's possible you could squeeze out a couple stray sprinkles. I do not think that's going to be common for a lot of us. It's just going to give us a little bit more of that cloud cover as we go through the next couple of hours. Temperatures will fall from the mid 70s back into the lower 70s after sunset, and then we are seeing some 60s on the board for early tomorrow. All right, back to our breaking news. First at 4, a live look at the scene here in North Royalton. Police, BCI, the Cuyahoga County Medical Examiner's Office right now at the North Royalton Service Center. We know an employee died there, but we don't know how.
No, we're still working for some answers there. The mayor is saying the city is deeply saddened, asking for prayers for that worker's family. 19 News continues to work our sources to find out what exactly happened. As soon as we get an update, we will bring you that breaking news right here, first at 4.
LeBron's decision to go to Philly is certainly the talk of the town here in the land today.
Yes, it is. It's disappointing. Come on, let's admit it. 19 News reporter Steven Hernandez is downtown asking Clevelanders what they think about LeBron in Pennsylvania with the Sixers.
Well, I've spoken to plenty of people in downtown Cleveland today, and it's been all sorts of reactions, but mostly shock. You figure after a long career LeBron has had, he'd end it by coming back to Cleveland, but instead, he's going to Philly. He says that this is his last decision that he's going to make. Do you believe that?
Yeah, I mean, he's getting up there. I'm definitely inclined to think this is probably it for him.
It's not his last decision, not when $1 million are involved.
As long as he's happy, that's what matters.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, you got to go where your heart is, you know, whether he's been there before or not.
I mean, he's had a long career in Cleveland, Miami, back to Cleveland, everywhere in between. You kind of figure he would have been nice if he were back in Cleveland for his last stint, no?
It would have been nice, but I mean, obviously he wasn't happy.
Well, I will say in 2016, that whole winning, and since then, the energy has kind of died down. But if he thinks that he's the reason why it's died down, maybe that's why he'd want to come back. I don't know.
For how long have you been following LeBron's career?
Probably since I was about in 3rd or 4th grade, so most of my life.
Does it feel right that it's ending this way?
No, it doesn't.
Now, at the end of LeBron's statement that he posted to social media, he did have one final message to our region. It said, "Thank you, LA. Miami, I'll forever love. And Northeast Ohio will always be home." In downtown Cleveland, Steven Hernandez, 19 News.
Well, Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro celebrated the news with a proclamation declaring July 24th LeBron James Day. Here's the tweet saying, quote, "By the power vested in me as the governor of the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and a diehard Sixers fan, I hereby proclaim today to be LeBron James Day. Welcome to the city of brotherly love.
Whatever.
Well, good for them.
Whatever. Come on. Really?
We're not bitter.
No, we're not bitter.
No,
Cavs
it's kind of.
fans at all.
I was surprised. I didn't.
I was stunned. I thought it'd be Cleveland or Miami. I really did.
Right.
And
But
to me,
I don't know how much the buildup, just leading towards him finally
Yeah.
making his decision swayed any of that. But I definitely wasn't thinking Philly.
I wasn't thinking Philly. It doesn't sit right with me just a little bit. Just because I would have been fine if he went to Miami. I don't like Miami because that's where he went the first time he left. But I mean, I could say, okay, you want to go there and kind of wrap it up, or come back here and wrap it up. But going to Philly, something doesn't sit right about it. I don't know what it is.
Well, we have a poll. We kind of want to know what you think about this decision. And our poll is at cleveland19.com.
That's right. So what do we got here? The Cavs didn't need him, 38%. I think they did, quite honestly. I would have liked to see them play. Cavs are done, 6%. That's no. Glad it's over. I think that there you go. A lot of people just thinking, I can move on to the tribe, the Guardians, right? Cavs didn't need him. I'm glad it's over. There's all your choices. Go ahead and vote.
Now your 19 First Alert forecast. Certified most accurate since 2004.
All right, let's touch on this 19 First Alert weather day coming up for Monday. Kind of similar to what we saw earlier this week. We've got another cold front on the way, and out ahead of that, we are going to see likely a risk for some showers and storms, some of which could be on the strong to severe side. Now, we are going to be under a pattern, what we call northwest flow. What does exactly that mean? It means you've got systems that are just going to keep coming in out of the northwest. Then most of these are kind of these overnight complexes that try to survive their trek into northeast Ohio. So we may have a couple of different windows where some of these showers and storms will be possible. One through the afternoon, another headed into the overnight. The overnight one, though, that will be out ahead of the cold front. So it's possible we could be talking about a damaging wind threat with any storms that develop. And if we do see a couple rounds of activity, we are talking about that potential then that we could see a little bit more of that heavier rainfall. This is really the risk area that we are going to be watching. And, it does encompass all of northeast Ohio. So that is something that we will watch as we go through the rest of this weekend and really nail down the data and the timing of those showers and storm chances. But I just wouldn't give you that first alert now. I do think the overnight right now looks to be a bit more favored, at least in terms of a severe threat. So as we go through the early part of this next week, rain chances will start to decrease. But again, it's going to be a little bit of a process once we get past that cold front. In the short term, we're building in some humidity, not only Saturday, but Sunday as well. And that will fuel at least an opportunity for some showers and storms this weekend.
Now your top 4 at 4. Breaking news in North Royalton. The mayor's office has confirmed there's been some type of deadly shooting at the North Royalton Service Center. That's on Royalton Road. We know the victim is a city employee. Right now, we do not know of any suspects. We do not know any of the details of the shooting. This continues to be breaking news, and we will continue to keep you updated. As a matter of fact, we'll have a live report, another one, coming up right around 4:30.
Well, we are also learning more about that huge apartment fire in Westlake this week. This fire was at the Barrington Place Apartments. That's on Detroit Road. 24 units were damaged. 12 of them, half of them have substantial damage. The other half have smoke and water damage. No one was hurt. Firefighters are able to rescue 2 pets from the building as well. The Red Cross is working with property management now to help find people in those 24 units a new place to live. As for what caused the fire, the state fire marshal is investigating.
The outbreak of cyclospora is now linked to 4 more states. Illinois, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Pennsylvania are now part of the outbreak. There are now 9 states with related cases, including, of course, here in Ohio. The CDC says it's sending several disease detectives, as they call them, to our state for about 3 weeks to help with the cyclosporiasis investigation. Federal health officials will be speaking with people who have tested positive.
All right, LeBron James heading to Philly. He announced it on social media in this video post. It's a 2-year deal worth $8 million with a player option. So that basically just means he can stay for 1 year and then decide if he wants to stay for a second season.
The nations around the world spent the summer battling it out, of course, on the pitch.
And now a much more old school showdown is taking center stage. Look at this. Fighters are wielding swords, shields, and axes as a centuries-old style of combat makes a modern comeback. Competitors, men and women from 30 countries, including here in the United States, they're vying to win the International Medieval Matchup, happening outside a castle in Denmark. It's a sport growing in popularity here at home, too.
There's a team in almost every state. Our team has grown to over 50 people, 50 dues-paying members, and it used to be, 10, 12 people when I first started, which 3 years ago.
Oh my goodness. Really going at each other. The event brings together nearly 600 contenders from Brazil to China, all keeping an age-old battle tradition alive.
Breaking at this hour in Virginia, 2 construction workers were killed in a shooting. Now, this is in Richmond, a very large police presence there, all responding to a staging area now near Route 1 and 288. State police believe the shooting is domestic related. No suspects have been arrested at this time.
Also breaking, dozens of firefighters battling flames threatening homes near a forest in southwestern France. A wildfire swept across the peninsula, forcing thousands to evacuate. French authorities ordered the evacuation of one tourism hotspot on the Atlantic coast. The fire is threatening to cut off the only road out of this peninsula, and it's the largest so far this season in France.
142 deer versus car crashes in a single year.
Well, now a local city, is bringing in federal sharpshooters to thin the herd. Catherine Huntley has the story.
People in the city of Medina are fed up with the number of deer running around the community. The council president estimates there's about 1 deer for every 26 people in the city. And now they're inviting sharpshooters to come in and handle the problem. Deer are easy to spot all over Medina, crossing roads and grazing in yards. City Council estimates 1,000 deer are roaming the city. Last year, nearly 150 deer were killed in car crashes. Council President John Coyne says it's a problem.
They're everywhere, and you just want to make sure they don't jump in front of you. Of course, I beat my horn to make sure they don't go in front of my car.
This month, City Council passed an ordinance to expand the culling program to allow for professional sharpshooters. Starting in January 2027 through mid-March, United States Department of Agriculture sharpshooters will be in Medina to shoot the deer. Currently, there's a regulated archery program to help cull the deer, but Coyne says that's not killing them fast enough.
They're trained professionals. They're going to do it from elevated tree stands so that they're shooting down towards the ground. They're not shooting horizontally, so the bullets go down towards the ground. And they're going to have suppressors on the gun so they're not loud, right?
The sharpshooters will only be shooting in public parks on certain days and times. Coyne stresses there will be significant communication online and by email with the public about when and where the sharpshooters will be operating. There will also be a program for people to get meat from the harvested deer. The goal, fewer deer on the roads and fewer crashes.
I think it's coming to a point that we have so many deer in the city that we have to balance the safety needs of the residents with the safety needs of the sharpshooters. And we have to do the best we can with both to make sure we have a program that'll be successful.
Council expects the program to run each winter for the next 5 to 8 years. In Medina, Catherine Huntley, 19 News.
Now your 19 First Alert forecast. Certified most accurate since 2004.
A little breezier out there today as that north wind starts to make its way back across northeast Ohio, largely because you have a little bit of a lake breeze, but it has not stopped, folks. Neither have the clouds of getting out and enjoying some time outside. Hopefully you have a good opportunity to do that, not only this evening, but into the next couple of days as well. Because even though, yes, we are going to be tracking a couple opportunities for some showers, and yes, maybe even a few thunderstorms in the mix too, these aren't going to be washout days for us. I still think you're going to have a lot of dry time, predominantly through the day on Saturday. But even Sunday, first half of the day, looks really dry. I'm not seeing much of a rain chance coming together until the afternoon. That better rain chance second part of the weekend does signal some bigger changes in our forecast, and that does include that 19 First Alert weather day coming up for your Monday. And that's for the potential that we could see some strong, possibly even severe storms. But no storm threat for us headed into tonight. In fact, right now, it's just trying to break those clouds apart a little bit more. Temperatures currently sitting mid-70s. I'll walk you through the rest of your forecast for this evening coming up in just a few minutes.
The community honoring North Randall firefighter Cameron Duvall calling hours this afternoon. Duvall was killed last weekend in Pepper Pike, hit by an accused drunk driver as he got out of his car to help a driver who had been stranded on the side of the road with a flat tire. His body was escorted by North Randall firefighters from Calhoun Funeral Home to Mount Zion Fellowship in Highland Hills this afternoon. The viewing is until 8 tonight.
The woman charged in the death of an 8-month-old boy pleaded not guilty today. 45-year-old Melanie DiMarzio remains out on bond. She's accused in the death of Grant Simmons. The baby boy was found unresponsive after nap time at a home daycare in East Canton. Investigators say the facility was unlicensed. People who worked there did not have any CPR training. There were no baby monitors, and there was no emergency plan.
New tariffs on goods from dozens of U.S. trade partners took effect today. Meanwhile, oil prices made a big leap at times this week, down at others, kind of flat for the week. Economists are raising concerns now about the continued pressure on U.S. consumers. Karen Caifa reports from Washington.
The re-escalation in tensions between the U.S. and Iran sent oil prices climbing again this week. Oil supplies are dwindling too from the Strait of Hormuz, the Red Sea, and the Black Sea, where Ukrainian attacks have disabled Russian ports.
So we are in a potentially worse situation now than we have been at any point during the crisis.
Oil prices briefly soared back above $100 a barrel on Thursday after Houthi rebels threatened a blockade in the Red Sea, compounding stress on shipments imposed by the effective closure of the Strait of Hormuz.
It's designed to cause another energy shock, shipping and insurance shock, to spread the impact of this war, again, horizontally across the globe.
Here in the U.S., the conflict has renewed pressure at the gas pumps. Friday's nationwide average for a gallon of regular gas was up 12 cents from 1 week ago, according to AAA, to $4.10. Meanwhile, new U.S. tariffs on goods from dozens of trade partners from Europe to China to India took effect Friday. The Trump administration citing a failure by countries to address alleged use of forced labor to produce goods exported to the U.S.
Finally, we have put our foot down and we have told countries, you need to take action.
Coupled with spiking oil prices, economists continue to sound the alarm over inflation.
These are the things that markets worry about inflation around.
The new tariffs range from 10 to 12.5%. In Washington, I'm Karen Caifa.